Hey everyone, Christina here. Nice to see you this week. I'm super excited to hop on really quick today. And I really felt compelled that this was something that I should talk about today. And I don't know about you, but there have been many times in my life, previous to now, that I've sat and thought, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Maybe I had a hiccup at work and I wasn't making the money that I thought I was going to make, and I was having a really hard time paying rent. Maybe I was in a relationship and it turned out to not be the right relationship for me. I remember leaving a relationship in Toronto and thinking eventually we get back together, it's going to be totally fine. And 6 months later, he called me and told me he was engaged to somebody else. I remember having failures at work and being so frustrated and upset, working in a salon environment where I was being verbally abused, sexually harassed. And I just thought, how did I end up here? Why is this happening to me? How do I deserve this when I've worked so hard my entire life to be in an environment where I'm not happy or I'm uncomfortable or I don't deserve this? Why is it happening to me? And I think, a lot of the times it's all about having a different shift in perspective. And what I've started over the last year or so is, instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And being super frustrated and worried and upset, worrying is praying for things that you don't want. So I started asking myself, why is this happening for me? Why is this happening? What's the lesson? And I start looking left and I start looking right and I look for the lesson. And so many times we don't realize that things are happening because we've probably made a choice not to change. We've probably made a choice not to move forward, because you not making a choice is the same as making a choice. And I know I stayed in those jobs much longer than I should have, when I wasn't being treated very well. I stayed in relationships longer than I should have, telling myself that it was for the other person when really it was me not wanting to make a decision, not wanting to change, being really, really, scared to do so. And when we just take a deep breath and recognize that every decision we make forms our life, forms the situation, forms our relationships, forms our friendships, forms our marriages, forms our family, every little decision that we make contributes to that. It can be a little scary and a little bit daunting that every little decision has added to where you are right now. But the cool thing is that you can make little decisions every day to change that. You can make a decision today to pivot and do something completely different and change the way that your life is going. And that's what we did 3.5 years ago. Where we were in life was great. We were happy. We had a lot of freedom. We were entrepreneurs, but it wasn't our dream life. It wasn't perfect. And life is never going to be perfect. But what I've learned is that when you start living up to your purpose, when you start striving for more and wanting more out of life, and you start getting in front of other people that believe the same thing, your life starts to shift and good things start to happen and new doors open that you never knew were going to open before. And it's really all about being aware and conscious of what's happening in your life and making decisions to make things better, making choices to make things better. Because I'm going to tell you something that was a really huge shock when I left the salon. I worked really hard on updating my skills. I worked really hard on building relationships with my clients. I worked really hard on being the best I could be at what I did. And I thought, why would the company not want the same thing as me? Why would they not want a better environment, or for people to make money and be happy? Why would they not want a partnership and expand into the wedding industry? Why would they not want those things? But what I wasn't seeing is that I was choosing to stay the same. I was choosing to stay in the same place against people that maybe didn't see the vision that I had, or didn't want more, or didn't want the headache, what they perceived as a headache, in their business, which actually would have brought in a lot of cash flow, a lot of money. And sometimes we come up against these things in our jobs. We can't change the environment. We can't change the things that are happening all around us. But what we can change is what we want and the environment that we're in. And we can change our own personal environment. So you may not be able to change what's happening at work, but you can make a change and decide to do something different, or decide to get a job somewhere else, or decide to, be more and do more and become more valuable to the people around you. And all of a sudden your life starts to shift and new opportunities open up. So it's not about what's happening to you or why is this happening to me. It's why is this happening for you, and how can you use it to learn, grow, and move forward to live up to your full potential? Because you know what, that's when I'm the most excited. That's when I'm the happiest, is when I'm pursuing the things that I'm most passionate about, when I'm helping others, when I'm empowering others, when I'm seeing the belief in people change right before my very eyes, when I see that light bulb go on and all of a sudden their face lights up and belief is inside of them. And they realize at that very second that they can do it too. And I've had those aha moments being around people of a certain caliber that I'm like, wait a second, I have a seat at the table. I can do this too. And that's what gets me excited. And when you start living up to that potential, that full potential that you have deep inside of you, and start making decisions based on that, life will shift. I just read a really great book called The Big Leap, which I would highly recommend. It really changed my perspective on why things happen to us versus for us, and the little decisions that we can make daily to shift and change our environment. So I hope that spoke to somebody today. If you know somebody that's down in the dumps or always wondering why me, tag them in this video or share this video with them, and hopefully it speaks to them too. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.